Today we're going to demonstrate how our universal drum band that's featured on many of our drum tipping products can lift drums directly from the corner of a pallet. The first thing we do is we open the band, so the doors of the band are open, we're ready to push the unit forward towards the drum. And we also make sure we've got lots of slack with the strap. So I've slackened the strap here, and you can see the strap's very long, so it's going to make it easier for us to pass it around the front of the drum. So we push the unit towards the drum. We don't go all the way, just part way, because what we need to do is just check that our doors are closing around the drum. I'll check the left as well. Bring the unit forward slightly. Once the doors are starting to close around the front of the drum, we then take our strap, lift it up and thread it through the gap. Come around the other side. And pass it round. We've got it up here in the middle. I can pass it down between the drums and hook it onto the other side. I'm just going to push the unit forward, make sure it's fully home, put a brake on so we're nice and tight, got no gap at the back of the band here, and like I said, the strap's passing around the front. Because we've got all that slack in there, before we tighten our ratchet, it's really important we pull that slack out so we don't wear the ratchet strap. So to do this, I can take the loose end of a strap, but I can also take the gap here and just pull through any slack through our ratchet mechanism. Once I've pulled through the slack, we operate our ratchet to tension the band. We don't need to go overly tight, just nice and snug, so we're tensioned around the belly of the drum. We then have our rim clamp. This comes in beneath the lip of the drum. We flip the top over, and we hold the rim clamp up while we're tightening it down. Always do the band first and then the rim clamp when you're lifting a drum. Now I'm going to press our lift button. Pull the unit away to get it clear of any other drums. And then we can lift it further and begin tipping if that's what we're going to do next. It's common to be handling only steel drums, and in this scenario we wanted to show what happens when you have two steel drums next to each other. What can happen is the rolling hoops, which are these proud sections in the centre of the drum, these can touch at these points together, meaning that there's no gap down the middle to fit our strap. So I've got an example strap here from a unit. We can imagine we're passing it around, and if we try to drop it down from above, it can't go past the rolling hoop at the top because they're touching. If we've got access, we can thread it right down and pass it through the centre like that, so you can see it's between the rolling hoops. But you can see there's a lot of stretching and it's quite hard to get down to that level. So just pull that strap out. So we've got a product which helps with this scenario called a drum lever bar. We've got one over here. So we do two types of version, one for tight head steel drums and another for open top drums that have a slightly different lip. What this allows us to do is the mechanism on the end connects to the drum. Using a lever, we don't need much effort. We simply twist the drum on the pallet. This drum's full of water, so it's about 200 kilo. And you see with one movement, we've got a very clear gap down the centre. I'll do the same on a red drum, just an example. So standing on this side, connecting the lever bar. We're not lifting the drum, we're simply rotating it or sliding it along the surface of the pallet. You can see now we've got a huge gap down the middle. We're going to have no issue getting our strap around the drum ready for lifting. We've now rotated the pallet so that we can get to the corner with our drum rotator. We've opened the band so we're ready to approach the drum, and we've lifted up to a height so we're right in the centre line of the drum, not too high, not too low. Push the unit forward, just up till the band starts to make contact with the drum. And then before we go all the way in, we just want to make sure our doors are closed so we're not hitting the adjacent drum. And check on the other side, just pushing the door in if needed. And we can push the unit all the way home, so just pushing it forward so our band's around the drum. Because we've got lots of room around the front of the drum, we can adjust the band here, we can take our strap and we can easily pass it down the middle. We're not struggling to fit it down like before. I'm just going to rest it there and go to the other side. And simply taking our strap, passing it down the centre and hooking it on to the left side of the unit. And now once again we're pulling all the slack out. So coming down here, using our hand to hold the slack end, pull through any loose slack, and then we want to work that through the ratchet. So simply pull it through, and then once the slack's gone, we begin to tighten. Stow the ratchet, we've tightened our band, and now we do our rim clamp next. Lift this up and over, holding it in place, and then clamping down our wing nut. Once both are tight, press our lift button, move back away, and we're ready to go and tip our drum.